right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSL Team League. We have an awesome match lined up here for you next. None other than Slayers, the team of Boxer, the Emperor versus GSTL, alliance between the team of MC and Team Liquid. Whoa, look at the Slayers logo wigging out there. There's their theme. Here they come.
It's like just twitching. It's like, I want to get these games going. I can't blame it.
Me neither.
I do too, man. Where's the Slayers team? You know, they're like motion form. There you go. Look out! It's like they have to run the gauntlet. It's like Indiana Jones has to swing through the studio first and go between the flames.
Boxer has such good micro, he dodged the flames.
So there is the Slayers team. Coach Stella in the middle, obviously. Boxer nearby. And I think these guys came to win today in a big way. I mean, they need to win basically every match to have any hope to get into the playoffs, because they haven't been doing too well so far.
That's right. And they're giving themselves a cheer. And yeah, remember, if they win this match, they could take third place. They could still make it into the playoffs if they win this match. And, you know, it may come down to a tiebreaker either way, so they need every kill they can get here. They need to win 4-0 if possible. Excuse me.
You're excused, Moltrap. I'll keep talking, don't worry. It's fine, Moltrap's dying over here. There's Boxer, of course. But, I mean, you know, Boxer is, of course, a legendary figure in the esports scene, everything like that. But in terms of results and skill on the Slayers team right now, you got to talk about some of the other Terrans. You know, Terrans like MMA and Ryung. Those guys, you know, they've kind of overshadowed the Emperor a little bit in terms of results and skill, I think.
Boxer did perform very well at the last MLG, although he's not going this weekend, obviously.
Yep.
Slayer's actually not sending any players to MLG this.
Nope, not this time around.
This time around. Although I was talking to Sella, he said they might send some people for the next one, which is in Providence? No, that's where the finals are, right? Orlando?
I have no idea.
Is that where the next one is?
Maybe, I think so. Could be.
Anyway.
Yep.
There's Sella right there with his sporty maroon coat, or not coat, shirt.
Last week, we actually saw Taja all-kill.
That's right.
Yeah. And I believe that was against F.United, if I remember.
I believe so.
Right. But anyway, there is Slayers. A little bit of info about them. They did win the last two team leagues, then kind of fell pretty far. Hadn't won a lot of matches. You can see their key players there are Boxer, Ryung, and Ganji, and their closer is MMA. And what a closer he is. He actually won them 2 championships. Doesn't get more closery than that, Moltrap.
No, man. Well, maybe Dongregu. He might be a little closery-er.
He's definitely got closer-ish characteristics. Look
this season, definitely Dongregu. I mean, Dongregu hasn't lost a game in the team league this season.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, there's their matches right now.
Beat F.United. They beat GSTL as well. The thing kind of extends in a direction towards MVP because of wins previously. Very, very Terran-heavy team. So Terran-heavy that units from the game actually pose with them.
Yep, there's the siege tank in the middle.
Yep.
Between MMA and Boxer.
It's like Ryung wants to like take a picture of us or something, or he's like directing a movie.
That's right. And Slayer's Ganji, of course, has been doing really well lately. Where have I recognized that name from? Where did I think he's going to be playing next Monday in the finals of Code A.
Yeah, Code A finals.
So he has been on fire lately, really tearing through Code A, beating some awesome players, beating his teammate Tasia, who all killed last week. And here's the GSTL team.
They've got a cool song, man. GSTL, but without the TL today. It looks like, because I don't see Hero in that lineup anywhere either. So just OGS, but that's okay because these guys are still a pretty great team. Obviously, the coach, the win there, you can see him kind of in the background, coaching Yellow actually. Oh yeah, definitely don't miss Project A.
Have you seen the second episode of Project A yet?
Yeah, dude, of course. I love that.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Was it pretty good?
It's a lot of fun to watch.
Excellent. The first episode was hilarious.
I think it's kind of cool as well to see what sort of training regimen they put Yellow on as well. It's kind of cool as far as a learning basis too, to see how the pro players would really want to set it up to make them good fast. Big cheer from OGS. They want to win this too. These teams fairly close in the standings, if I remember right.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, they're even in the standings. I believe they're both 2-2, or no, maybe they're both 1 and. Well, we'll find out later. I've forgotten. I'll have to look it up. But let's check out the OGS team. Inca, Supernova, and Top being their key players, and of course their closer. Now that Huck is no longer with them, is MC.
Flexing a muscle there, showing us a little bit of his strength. And you need arms like that to have the type of micro that he does. I think MC's a good closer. He's had a couple significant losses in the team league throughout the history of the GSTL, but still doesn't diminish the fact that he's a great Protoss player. Inca, a very strong PvPer, but not actually in the regular GSL, not in the individual team league.
Yeah.
And they did beat Prime, as you can see there.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting match, man. Both these teams really have a lot on the line. OGSTL is at 1 and 2 in their standings, so they really need this win. Oh, wait, this must be old. Never mind.
A couple newer players popping up this season that we haven't really seen a lot of before. Obviously, the SDC is back. Lovesick is newer. Vines is newer. And Juke2, not really a newer player, but someone we haven't really seen too much of.
He's been around for a little while, but we haven't really seen him do too much until this Code A season. He kind of did a little bit.
Coach Cell in the win, learning the rules just in case they forgot them from last week.
Yep. And of course, Slayer's Jessica is actually here as well, the manager and Boxer's girlfriend. She's looking a little bit apprehensive today. This is a very, very important match for Slayers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if Slayers loses this, they are out of the running for the playoffs completely.
Yeah. I can't seem to find the updated standings. Maybe I'll be able to get a hold of those for you.
Well, Slayers has been really inconsistent this season in the team league. They've had some bright spots, but some pretty dark spots as well. So they need to have a really solid showing, and it can't be. Obviously an all kill is nice, but that's just one player, right? You need to have a solid team showing, I think, and Slayers really hasn't had that yet this season, in my opinion. A lot of fog in the studio today. It's very foggy.
Yeah, man, they definitely have a lot to prove here. I mean, they are the champions from past seasons. They have a lot of strong players on their team, and that team dynamic is what has carried them through the previous team league. So they really want to make it into the playoffs and have a chance at least proving themselves. Even if they don't win the season, getting into the playoffs would actually be a huge deal for them, that they wouldn't go from being, the champions to finishing close to last. Traditionally,
too, they've been one of the teams that's been really good as a team and not just a group of individuals, too. They've had a lot of luck, a lot of skill, I should say, preparing some of their players specifically to snipe other players. That's a really valuable tool that you need to have in the team league.
Yeah, and preparing not just... it's not just like MMA going out there and killing everyone every game. They actually have a lot of different players participating that have prepared for certain matchups and certain
Ryung is a guy they like to use a lot for that. He's they call him the Terran Sniper anyway, but just coincidentally they like to use him in the sniping role in a lot of team league matches too. He's usually the guy that has a talent to prepare for certain players and follow through and beat them. Yep. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw him brought out against some of the better players on OGSTL.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ryung has been doing well in the individual league as well lately, and going pretty far in Code S. So he's definitely one of their stronger players right now.
I could see him used as a sniper against MC.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, he did just win a TVP in Code S, didn't he?
He just won a TVP in Code S. Very strong there.
Yeah, he just beat Puzzle, actually, our Code A champion from last season.
Yep, so, and of course we know he has some clever TVT builds planned out that he was using against his teammate Tasia in the semifinals. So
that was Ganji.
I'm sorry, that was Ganji. Never mind.
Well,
forget that.
That's a good point too, though, is that the Slayers is the house of Terran innovation. So we do see a lot of clever stuff coming out in all matchups from the Slayers Terrans.
I thought you were going to say Slayers is the house of Terran. I'm like, yep, that's true.
Well, that's true too, but I think a lot of teams are like the house of Terran right now. There's
true
a lot
enough.
of Terran players in the GSL.
But maybe we'll see some of Slayers' other players, though. We might see Min.
Maybe. Haven't seen Alicia for a while either.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Alicia has been underperforming of late, so we haven't seen him too much. Hopefully he's practicing up, getting back in shape.
It'll be cool when Koka can play for them too, because I mean he's a very talented Zerg player. For those of you who didn't know, Koka recently left ZeNEX and joined Slayers, but he's not on the roster for this season, so he can't actually play in the team league yet. So we're gonna have to wait until next season to see Slayers Koka. But let's see who our first 2 players for the day are. I actually don't even know yet.
I know who Slayers is sending out.
It is Slayers Ganji. There he is. He is headed to the Code A Finals on Monday. This guy has been playing really well lately in the individual leagues. Not so well in the team leagues. He is 0-3 this season.
No, he actually, it's really strange because he's a really good player, but he just doesn't seem to get those wins in the team league.
Yeah. So will he be able to reverse the trend today? I'm going to reserve my opinion on that until we see who GSTL is sending out.
We're going to find out in just a moment.
Yep.
Ganji preparing mentally there, trying to focus.
Or he's taking a nap, one of the two.
Well, it might be that.
Yep. Quick nap.
Someone will have to go knock on his booth, wake him up before the next, before the match starts.
I think John's around here somewhere. We can send him to do that.
Yep.
And there is our OGSTL player.
I don't
he
recognize
is
him.
Cezanne.
Oh, okay.
Looks like he got a haircut. Now, he is 0-1. They've sent him out as their first player before, and he wasn't able to win. Not in the GSL or anything like that. But OGS uses this guy, you know, it seems like pretty often. They have a lot of faith in this guy. Obviously, he is a Zerg player.
Yeah, I mean, Cezanne, we haven't really seen him in a while. He lost to Nesty in the Super Tournament. And before that, we haven't seen him since Code A Season 2. So he's kind of one of those players that I believe was around like a little bit in the late open seasons. Yeah, he played in the open seasons, and then when Code A started up, he was in one season, and then the second season got eliminated around 32.
God, so, like, I'm going to smash this guy.
So he's one of the older school players, but has not had any results recently. The game has kind of overtaken his skill.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to battle on Dual Sight. That's going to be our first map of the day. Interesting map for a TVZ. I feel like it is slightly better for Terran, but I actually feel a little bit uncomfortable saying that because we've seen it go both ways many times. But the game is about to begin. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Slayers Ganji or OGSTL? Cezanne coming out on top game 1. GSL Team League with Doa and Moletrap. Don't go anywhere, guys. The game is about to begin. All right, so over here on the left side of GSL Dual Sight, we have our yellow Terran. Everybody's picking yellow today. All the Terrans are. It is
Slayers Ganji.
I was hoping you would play crazy so I could call him the Gonzo Terran. He kind of did play crazy in his TVTs versus Tasia here. But anyway, right side of the map, doing the extractor trick is all the Korean Zergs really like that extractor trick, but the Western Zergs do not.
Interesting.
Yeah. And what is this? It is a supply depot being built outside of the natural of OGS Cezanne. That's interesting.
Huh. I wonder if he's going to use... That's actually in his main, actually.
Is it?
Yeah,
no.
it is.
It is?
Yeah, it's in his main. I wonder if he's going to use the same build that he actually used against Tasia, where he actually, well, he made Marauders in that. That was kind of strange, but he used the depot in the base to have a kind of a fallback position where he could put a Marine behind it.
He's the Gonzo Terran. I'm naming it. His name sounds like Gonzo from the Muppets. Gonzo also is a synonym for crazy. And that is just crazy what he's doing right now, so...
By the way, Dual Sight looked up the stats. It's pretty much even as far as Terran versus Zerg. Terrans have win a few extra, but it's not significant. And Ganji, though, has a really good record versus Zerg players. He actually has a 75% win rate against Zergs.
Oh, man, look at that.
In GSL.
And he is just going to bunker hop his way towards Cezanne's base.
Wow.
How well is this going to work? That's the question. The drone's like, wait a second. There's no buildings here. But, you know, I don't think he's going to scout there. I got to say, he's going to scout in a lot of other places. He doesn't see this coming.
No, man, he's thinking it's like proxy 2 racks.
This is such a great place to hide
in the third or something like that, but he's actually hiding in his main, And he's got it rallied to build another bunker.
Oh, look at that. And I don't think that bunker is even envisioned of that extractor. Is it? The Marine certainly is. Here he comes. And two Marines out already. Big round of applause from the crowd.
And this is the part where Cezanne probably just cursed to himself in his booth because he's like, oh, how could I not have seen that?
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
Spawning pool's not even done yet. Oh, man.
There goes the spawning pool, but he's got Marines in his main. And once that bunker finishes, he could even build another bunker within range of the spawning pool if he wanted to, which it looks like he might do.
I think that's a good decision. Now, at the very least, Cezanne is going to need to dedicate a lot of resources to making Zerglings rather than drones. And, you know, this is very interesting from Slayer's Ganji because you really can't hit the hatchery with bunkers from here. So he's going to need to leave the bunkers to do damage to the hatchery. But if he can kill that off, if he can make the natural into the main for Cezanne, that's going to make him so exposed.
And I like that. Yeah. Denying the gas mining there. And that bunker completes, so...
Can he actually hit the spawning pool from there? I don't think he can.
Oh, maybe he can't.
Can't quite do it, no. And look at that, walled in as well. All he needs to do is make a couple Marines at home.
Yes. Okay, he can. I thought it was within range, but I didn't know why he was attacking the extractor first.
Ganji can actually just repair these supply depots indefinitely as well. And he certainly is doing that. First Marine's coming out. He's going to be able to chase away the Zerglings. Things looking very, very bad for OGS Cezanne right now.
Yeah.
And that Zergling speed is not even going to finish.
Oh, that's actually really bad. He's going to try and distract with these Zerglings.
Two bunkers filled with Marines. This is going to be rough, man. Yeah,
Speed's not going to finish.
He's already building another spawning pool. There it goes.
Wow.
I've never seen opening quite like this on this map.
No.
I mean, it really is kind of exploiting the weakness of the map, having that big open spot on the top of it. I really, really like it. I think it's a really nice opening from Slayer's Ganji. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, and he's basically denying any mining from the main base because if he tries to go in with drones, he can just pop those Marines out, attack the drones, and he can keep the Zerglings around and kind of fend things off, maybe mine a little bit, but at the very least he's going to be only mining from maybe half the patches in his main.
Cezanne's starting Zergling speed for the second time now at a new spawning pool. And yeah, you really just kind of is going to have to make a lot of Zerglings.
He's set so far back here, and Ganji went and got a factory in the background of this. He's gotten an extra command center.
Well, the only thing right now is I'm a little bit surprised Ganji's not putting more pressure on the hatchery. He could be hopping out and doing some damage to it and then falling back to the bunker.
That's true. I'm actually a little surprised by that as well. That would be...
Right. He's worried about Zergling's speed finishing, well, I think is what it is. Oh, actually he's going to go for it. Okay.
There we go.
And that's a lot of Marines, too. That hatchery is falling very, very quickly. Can Cezanne save it?
Zergling speed. He knows it can't be done yet because he knows he canceled it at least once.
Yeah.
And that hatchery's getting very low. He's going to have a more fortified position there. Only attack with a few Marines just to bait things out, try and kill some Zerglings.
Yep, he does get a nice scout of Cezanne's new main and his natural as well. And going for two factories as well. Yeah, he's going to be making Blue Flame Hellions. Nice decision by Slayer's Ganji. Great follow-up because you know your opponent's going to have a ton of Zerglings and not much else. He is making a Baneling Nest, but I don't know what that
the hatchery to make it a fall. Oh, he goes in with a lot of Zerglings. The two bunkers are up.
Well,
he's going to salvage the third, but...
He's going to be able to take out the bunkers, but he's going to lose the majority of his Zerglings in the process. Or at least about half of those or so. And it makes it even better for those Blue Flame Hellions to come out once Ganji gets that done.
Yeah, 24 Zerglings and drones have been lost compared to just 14 Marines, so...
Yeah.
Well, I guess in the end, the lack of mining time is really the main thing that was the kicker there, and he killed a lot of drones, so Ganji is now going to get his expansion going. He's got more SCVs by a few combined with the mules, means he has a much better economy, and he's got better tech as well. I mean, losing your spawning pool, you have to have a spawning pool to build a lair or roach warren, so...
Or Zerglings. Now, Ganji did kill the hatchery, and that's kind of the big thing that's going to help Cezanne out, because he's continued to make drones throughout all this. In fact, he's ahead in the drone count, 41 to 38 right now. So he can just go back and start immediately mining. His hatchery is going to heal over time. But the question is he going to be able to handle these Hellions? That's the big concern right now, because economically, he's down, but he's not as far down as he would have been if he would have lost that hatchery. This is going to be pretty scary to handle, though. That's a lot
Yeah.
of Blue Flame Hellions.
That is actually a ton of Hellions. That is basically enough Hellions that they will be able to stop almost infinite Zerglings. And with the Marines there alongside, he'll be able to deal with Spine Crawlers a lot easier and Queens. Now the Banelings, though, that are morphing and already completed are going to be the real problem. Those may actually take this push out very handily if he doesn't micro correctly.
Yep, Ganji controls badly. He could lose a lot of those.
Oh!
Ooh, nice shot there, losing a couple Hellions. Taking quite a bit of damage. That wasn't the best for Slayer's Ganji, actually.
Yeah, he actually lost half his Hellions there.
Ugh. Ouch.
Yeah, the
All
Banelings
right.
are very good against Hellions, actually.
And here come the Banelings. He needs to get those Marines out of the way so the Hellions can fire. Being very, very careful there. Oh no, he's going to lose a Hellion to the Spine Crawler. That is a huge waste. Ugh.
Oh, he's got to be careful. The Zerglings get around behind and trap.
Man.
Oh, the Banelings land on all the Marines.
Yeah, not the
And
best
that
control.
push has been pushed back.
Well, more Hellions coming in right now, so it's not over quite yet, but not the best control from Ganji right now. He's going to try to run right into the main, possibly. First, he has to kill those Zerglings. If he can snipe the Baneling, that's helpful as well.
What's he doing?
He's trying to find a way to get into the ramp, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. Third already finished for Slayer's Ganji, and you know he's doing a good job of trying to stay economically ahead of his Zerg opponent.
I like the
okay.
fact that he's checking around the map with his Hellions, making sure that Cezanne hasn't stolen an expansion somewhere.
Well, taking a gold is a big temptation, I'm sure, right now.
Yeah.
And look at that Zergling counterattack, and only one bunker filled with things, but a lot of Hellions there.
Oh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Flame broiled. That is a different type of Korean barbecue.
That's right.
Great. Probably just as tasty, though, if you have the right sauce.
Oh, yeah, man. Dude, that red sauce that I need to learn the name of again.
See, I like the stuff with
get
the
Korean
onions in it
barbecue?
myself. I don't know. You like the red
soy
stuff,
sauce
but
stuff.
yeah. Any way you slice it, Korean barbecue is great, actually. And this queen is going to die to these Hellions, it looks like. Wow. No more creep spreading for her. And a lot of creep humans being taken out. Cezanne has done a pretty good job of trying to keep the spread right now. And is he going to disrupt the Spine Crawler? He can take it out. He's got enough Hellions.
Yeah.
Tons of Hellions right now for Ganji.
Might not be the most cost-effective thing, though, even though you could technically take it out.
Well, the Spire is finishing right now for Cezanne, so once those mutas come out, that's going to be a big concern. But Cezanne doesn't really have enough to produce a lot of mutas. He's making 6 right now, but beyond that, you know, it might be tough to kind of get the amount of mutas out he wants to, while at the same time handling the other stuff that he needs to deal with.
And here he comes in again, clearing out some more creep tumors.
Yep.
Nicely done. He might scan and take out the rest of those. No, maybe not.
Well, scanning is a lot of minerals wasted, but Ganji does have a third
He's cut
base.
3 bases, so...
Yeah, he's up long before Cezanne. Cezanne's third just now starting.
And there is the bane of Hellions' existence. Some mutas are out now, so that is going to keep these Hellions from being quite as effective with their harassment.
Yep. Hellions are the bane of Lings.
That's true. And Banelings are the bane of
Marines.
Marines, I guess. And Hellions.
And Hellions. It's true. Scanning, taking some more creep tumors. Almost getting the Scantipede. That was close. We might have had to disqualify him. You can't kill the Scantipede. He's going to force a cancel on this hatchery, though. Yep.
It's a good move, and that's exactly what Ganji wants to be doing right now, is he knows he's ahead. All he needs to do is just keep an eye around the map and make sure that he's stopping any third bases from going up. Because as we saw earlier, he's pretty well defended at his natural. It's going to be much less defended at third. Now, that is a lot of Zerglings and Banelings, though, so he has to be very careful.
Yeah, it's a lot of Zerglings and Banelings, but not a lot of drones, although he does have enough right now.
Yeah, 51 drones to 74 SCVs, so Ganji's economy is just kicking it right now.
Yep.
He's going to find this gold base and shut it down. I don't think he can quite get over there in time. Cancels that. But if you see on the minimap a huge force moving out into the middle of the map, they're just going to try and catch that force and just surround it.
He needs to keep those Lings alive. Ganji deciding to try the Marine Medevac Hellion route. Getting the tanks pretty late this game. We saw Boxer try this and get shut down pretty easily by Lenok back in the round of 32 for Code A.
He does have a lot more that's bulkier against his mainly. That entire group of Zerglings, it's a huge group of Zerglings, almost 100 Zerglings, could die very easily if they get too close to those Hellions at the wrong time.
Yes, they could. Oh, and he's even got some Thors added on, really nicely done by Ganji. And is he going to go for it? Here he goes, trying to split up the Lings. Oh, a lot of the Hellions getting taken out by the Banelings, but initially it's just not enough.
And this hatchery might go down, and this is exactly what we're talking about. He needs to take out the expansions. He is. Cezanne deciding to go for a counterattack. He cannot attack those Hellions with the Zerglings, so he's going to go for the main.
Yep.
Actually, the Hellions are all dead there.
Ganji heading back home. He doesn't need to kill anything else right now. And Muta's trying to magic box. I think Cezanne is barely going to kill this, but was it going to be enough? Not even really getting any SCVs with that.
Oh my god. There are about a dozen SCVs. No, there's more than a dozen SCVs with like 5 hit points left.
Wow,
2 hit points left from that Baneling shot. If there'd been 2 Banelings instead of 1, that would have been huge.
And Ganji pushing out on the map again. He's got so many medevacs, it's going to be very, very difficult to take those Marines out unless he gets some good, solid Baneling hits. Looks like he may try to just elevator some things up after he checks for that 3rd, or possible 4th as well. And Ganji right now, you know, he can kind of be like, all right, well, I'm just going to not let you expand, and then once you run out of minerals, that'll be the end of the game.
Yep.
But no,
or
he's
he
going
can
for
just drop
big
the
mass
main.
drop.
Single Marine gets left behind.
Yep. He might be happy he was, though.
Yeah.
We'll see.
A lot of stuff getting unloaded. There's no Banelings. No, there's a few Banelings in the back.
Banelings trapped in the back, no, not able to get to the Marines. And a Siege Tankathorn Marine survived. GG, there it is.
Ganji takes game 1 for Slayers.
Yeah, and Ganji really continuing with kind of some cheesy openings, but I like it. It's cool, It's exciting. We need to see Terrans doing some innovating. And, you know, bad luck for Cezanne. You know, again being put out first by OGSTL, and again, losing in the first round.
Yeah, and again, you know, Slayers needs to not just win, but they need to win commandingly, and so I'm not surprised they put out one of their stronger players first. OGSTL, though, decided to put out a player with a little bit less success, and that's what happens sometimes when you don't put out your aces first.
Yeah, that's true. So who do you think would be a good choice for OGSTL to send out next?
Well, I don't know, probably a Terran. Ganji, well, yeah, because Ganji, again, he did beat Tasia, but he beat Tasia in kind of a cheesy way.
Well, but
I'm still not sure if his TVT is the best.
I think it was a little bit better than Tasia's, but I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't, for me anyway, that would like scare me to send out a Terran. They're like, wow, did you see how he dismantled Tasia with all those weird, crazy cheeses and things like that?
Just thinking about his wreck. Well,
I think they're going to send out.
You know what? Actually, yeah.
I think it's.
I'm going to take that back. He has beaten some really good Terrans lately.
Yes, he has.
I think a Protoss would be a better choice. So MC, yeah, you know, I think that would be a good option actually, because they, again, in this situation, you don't want to actually save your ace for the end. You want to send out someone who could possibly get a lot of kills, because again, at this point, if you end up winning, you're still going to be in a tie, and that final tie-breaking score of how many wins over losses total you have is going to be really important. So you may want to send out MC to try and see if he can clean up quickly, and it's going to be...
Looks like we're wrong. It's going to be Supernova.
So it is a Terran.
Yep. Now Supernova came in second to Lucira in his Code A finals, but did get into Code S. Very solid Terran player. And I would actually agree that TVT is his strongest matchup right now. I'd say TVZ being a close second with that. I like this guy a lot. I feel bad we haven't gotten to see him play quite as often lately.
Yep. Yeah, he hasn't gotten too many wins against Terrans lately, but he's definitely been strong against Terran in the past. Hopefully he can bring that out. He actually lost to MMA in the Super Tournament.
That's
Supernova
right.
did, so no shame there. He did take a game off him, though.
Yeah, I think it's good. He also beat Keen recently.
Yeah. So these are both guys that have a lot of potential, have the ability to play very, very, very high level Terran versus Terran, but who haven't actually put the results up. So it's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top here. No pun intended.
Well, OGS Top is a different player. Maybe if he was coming out. I don't know. Top's another good choice. He's a good TV tier too, isn't he? Yeah.
He's a very good TVT, actually.
Yep.
Yeah. He might be a good next choice if Ganji manages to beat Supernova as well.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what map he's going to pick for this. You know, what map he feels comfortable on. Supernova could be could be the sniper, actually, too, for this team. They could have prepared him specifically to take out Ganji, just because they did know that Ganji was going to come out first. So, you know, if he happens to win the first game, you have a guy that can go in there. He's a solid player already, but he has something specifically planned for Ganji, too. So I'm sure he's got something in mind. Yep.
Yeah, and that's exactly how the teams prepare for these things, is they have an idea of what's going on. Let's go ahead and check out some interviews with the coaches of these teams, though, first.
어제 절대 간판이었죠. 김동주 선수가 박수호 선수를 워낙 좀 무리 없이 잡아낸 감이 있었고, 그리고 워낙 저그전에도 자신이 있었고요. 그래서 자청하진 않았지만 자신 있게 믿고 내보낸 케이스입니다, 이번에는. 네, 이길 자신은 있고요. 그리고 이번 승패가 양팀 모두에게 중요한 경기만큼 꼭 승리하겠다는 마음가짐으로 모든 선수들이 준비했습니다. 그래서 아마 조금 큰 점수차로 이기지 않을까라고 예상합니다. 네, OGSTL이 우리 슬레이어스 팀에게 안 좋은 기억이 있죠. 아직 그 아픔이 가시지 않았을 것 같기도 한데 다시 한번 그 아픔을 되새겨 드리고 싶고요. 좋은 경기 만들었으면 좋겠습니다.
지금 현재 슬레이어스는 1승 3패고 저희도 1승 2패거든요. 일단 슬레이어스는 자력 진출이 불가능해졌고, 저희도 오늘 경기를 지게 된다면 자력 진출이 불가능해지기 때문에 양팀 서로 되게 중요하다고 생각을 해요. 그만큼 되게 치열한 경기 예상하고 있습니다. 예, 그때도 뭐 한 점 차였기 때문에 뭐 승부야 언제든 뭐 점수 차이가 많이 나더라도 언제든 뒤집을 수 있고 또 질 수도 있는 거라고 생각하기 때문에 오늘 한번 재밌게 한번 해봐야 될 것 같습니다. 서로 어쩌다 보니 이렇게 궁지에 몰린 상황에서 만나게 됐는데 저희도 갈 길이 멀기 때문에 오늘 꼭 승리해서 꼭 플레이오프 가도록 하겠습니다.
There you go. So OGSTL is at 1-2. So if they win today, they will be at 2-2, and they will actually be in a position to win that that fifth match, and clinch the playoffs. But they have to win today to do that, and they're down a game right now.
These guys are really competitive too. I want to say it was in the very first team league ever that OGS knocked out Slayers, although now that I say it, that doesn't sound right. But anyway,
I don't remember.
These two teams are very competitive, and I feel like in a lot of ways they're pretty even too in terms of skill. I think right now Slayers is a little bit more deep than OGSTL is.
Yeah.
But OGSTL has a lot of good players, a lot of good individuals that could be trained, you know, as snipers for those more solid all-around Slayers players.
And of course, I think OGSTL clearly has a couple more accomplished players as well.
Oh yeah.
MC, of course, with a couple medals under his belt.
Yep.
Supernova has been Codes, and he's been playing well for a long time as well.
Top's been around Codes
Top's
for
been
a while
around as
now.
well.
Yep, won the very first Code finals.
Yeah. So kind of I guess in that sense, Slayers is still sort of an underdog as far as if you look at the individuals, but as a team, Slayers has performed better as a team. So very interesting how that dynamic plays out. Of course, again, this season, Slayers not have been doing quite as well. So very important match for both players.
Oh, yeah, extremely. Which, again, makes me a little bit surprised about the choice to send out Cezanne first. They keep sending him out, and he doesn't really win. So, I don't know. I mean, we didn't
Maybe
really
they were hoping for a Bung Bung situation where he...
you know, for the position that Cezanne was put in, he actually played pretty well. So, I don't want to take a lot away from him with that. But
that's true. He did actually play very well after getting... cheesed into a very early disadvantage.
Yeah.
And Tal'Darim Altar is going to be the next map. Supernova has some sort of macro game planned, or maybe he's got some sort of special cheese planned, which is also possible on this map.
He's got something planned. We know that for sure.
He's got a plan.
That's
He's
right.
got a plan to stick it to the man. That's what he has.
The man being Slayers, apparently.
A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
Is that like A documentary?
That
or
whole
something?
sentence is a palindrome, actually.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and get into the game, though. Let's see if Supernova can tie things up, or if Ganji will take a 2-0 lead here at the GSTL.